Alright, so I promised you a full game of Kaiju Conquest, and here we are. So, we've got Kellyanne playing the United Nations Reaction Force, the humans, and we've got Neil playing the Cesarans, the alien Kaiju forces, invading the Earth. Okay? So, the first phase, world event phase, they will each roll a d10 and check on their respective world event charts, see what happens.
5. Economy.
So Kelly gets economy. Oh.
10. Gain 2 resource cards.
And she gains 2 resource cards. Yeah. So, as the URNF player, Kelly gets 16 resource cards to start with, and she'll gain 2 more extra cards on top of that for this round. So 18 cards.
And what's the weather say?
I have stormy, so I'm -1 movement on weather.
So since you're not really moving in the first round anyway, it doesn't mean much. I think the evac should still be allowed to move in the first round.
Okay, that's fine.
Because they are emergency response.
Okay, what'd you roll?
To see if the portal switches.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Seems to me you'd have to have 2 of them.
What did you roll first time?
A 5.
5. So you get 1 portal. Yep. So you got your target. Oh. Now she can't see what city that is until you reveal it for the movement phase.
You get to know.
You get to know it, but she doesn't. Okay, and then yeah, just roll. And if you roll a 10, nope. So you do. It's not warped.
No special.
So your weather calm. Yep. So put a portal on the target city there. That's the one that looks like an eye there. It's got an image of the city in the background. That's actually the portal. Yeah, you just put that on the card there so you don't lose that. Forget it. And now you get to draw 6 resource cards for that portal. So you draw it from that pile, yeah, the resource pile.
Now you can only have a maximum of 1 Titan come out, right?
Yeah, regardless,
so
yeah.
If you have more than 1 Titan, redraw until you have only 1 Titan.
And Kelly is playing putting her respective units on the cards, 1 for 1. First turn she gets all the units displayed. If there's any mecha, she has to turn them in and replace them with military units. That's only for the first round only.
There's an evac over there too.
Yeah, I know, but this is the flying. You changed the sticker.
Oh,
so they're
you're
different
doing your Air
color
Force.
now.
Yeah, they're all the colors have changed on the drones, the evac, the bases, and the all that there. So on a few of them now.
I see you flipped them a bit.
Okay, so you got the brawler, so you'll definitely get him, and you get to see Leviathan that come out with him on the portal, and you get 1 for 1 for all those units. You just match like units to those and put them on the cards so that you don't forget any there. And then you can draw your brawler card too off the character deck there too when you're ready for that.
And then 1 unit for a command unit. This.
Okay, Kelly's chosen 1 army for an army command, and a Air Force for an Air Force command, and a PIB for PIB command. PIB being once again Powered Infantry Brigade.
Did get a lot. I also drew an extra 2
resource cards.
2 resources.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so once you're done that, then you can just stack them all up, get them ready to deploy it. Don't forget your 4 bases. Yes.
Into.
Bases.
And usually what you'll do with your side is once you get all your units there, you just stack them together with your target city, because if you get more than 1 there, you got to stack them with whatever city they're going to. Okay, at this point, Kellyanne is stacking up all the like units together, Army, Navy, Air Force, PIBs, evac, with the bases, getting ready to deploy them onto the game board. Then she is taking all the resource cards that are been used and stack them to the side as a discard pile.
These all get shuffled back at this turn, right?
Only the mecha.
Only
the mecha. Because the mecha resource cards cannot be used in the first round, the UNRF player is allowed to shuffle them back into the deck for the first round only, so that those cards can be used for later on in the game. So, once you've got your resources there, then you can put all your resource cards back on discard pile and stack all your units on your target city card there. And Kellyanne is shuffling the mecha cards back into the resource card deck. Once again, the reason for that is sometimes you draw a lot of the mecha cards and you don't want to lose getting those later on in the game. So that at least gives them the UNRF player a chance to at least get some mecha during the game. Okay, so once you've done all that, yeah, and you can just place your 2 character cards up front here, however you want to lay it out there. It's up to you there. Okay. And now command cards. Now, if you drew any command, the United Nations Reaction Force player drew got 3 command units, and she has 4 bases to start, so that's 7 command that she'll get. For you, for the Kaiju player, you get 1 command for every Titan in play, so you've got 2. And if you had brought in the Warlord, you would have got an extra 3 command.
But he can still turn those counters he's got into these command units, which will give him more command cards. So if you wanted, you could change those on a 1-to-1 basis into these different command options. So that you can get rerolls and higher command on the individual units as they come in. Especially if you have multiples.
Okay, so Kelly, you can start deploying your units on the board. So the bases, 1 base has to go to Hawaii. 1 base is a sea zone and an open sea zone. And you can put that blue counter at the end there on top of it, just so we're sure it's a sea base in case you move towards land. And yeah, 1 base has to go along the East Pacific coastline and 1 along the West Pacific coastline on a city. So she puts 1 by Lima.
So you'll get a total of 4 command cards because you have 2 Titans.
And 1 in Hong Kong.
These things?
Yeah. If it says reinforcements, you can use it immediately if you wanted. Otherwise, you can hold on to it for a later time.
Okay, and these have to be distributed.
Yep. Yeah, you have to at least occupy 8 city zones with 1 of each unit first before you start deploying the rest of them. So, and there has to be a land and a PIB unit occupying those 8 zones first before you deploy anything else.
That at least splits up the PIBs and the land units a bit.
Yep.
Yeah, you could do that right now if you wanted to.
He's got a reinforcement card. Yeah, you can do that. Use that right away if you want to get the extra reinforcements.
Just draw another card there. And
so
on it.
Neil drew deploy reinforcements. He can use that right away to gain the extra resource card.
Okay,
and
because he get a second Titan doing that?
What he can do is he can't get a second Titan, but he can exchange the Iron Sides for the Warlord right away. That's the only difference. Is the Warlord can come out. He's the exception to the rule for deployment with the portal.
Oh, you mean like this character here?
Yep.
He could flip him off and get the Warlord if he wanted to.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
It's a 1-for-1.
That's not a bad move, actually.
You just got to make sure you keep the Warlord protected because he doesn't have a whole lot of hit points.
Where's the counter for the Warlord in here?
He's right there.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're just turning it back in and getting a military unit. So that is the other option. You can turn a resource card back and try to get another military unit out of it. It's up to you. You still have that option. Yeah, that just gets discarded, yeah. So when you deploy for the movement phase, you have to end up in the zone you start with. In this case, whatever the city that is, I won't say what it is right now. And then you'll get to, based on their movement and what your movement benefit is or not, you'll get to move out from that zone if you want to further deploy forces. On the first turn, you want to try to get 3 zones so you can get the maximum amount of victory points and territory controlled.
How many extra command cards does he get for the Warlord?
3 more. Good question. Yeah, you get 3 command cards for him. And the command cards you get each round is based on what you currently have in play or will get in play for that round in command units.
so they pop out somewhere.
Okay, so once you're done deploying all that, Kelly, now you can deploy your garrison units on all the unoccupied zones, city and or non-city there. Or I shouldn't say or, it's city and non-city zones.
These two as well.
Yep.
Oh, those count?
Yep, those count too. Yep. Okay, so now that that's all done for the resource phase, now we go into the movement phase. And this is where the Kaiju player starts by revealing the target city and deploying his forces in that zone. In this case, it is Lima.
Right on my base.
Hola, camista.
Okay, so you put your portal there. And the reason we put the portal there too is if the human player happens to have a command card for nuke 'em all, he could try to nuke the portal. When he does use it, it will destroy the portal automatically, but it will damage other units or destroy them depending on how good a rollage they get. So you can deploy all your units and Titans and that onto that zone to start with.
This would be a good time to have a nuke.
Yeah.
Just because Lima's not that important, really.
Once one of the way for the UNRF to win is if they destroy all 3 portals, or 3 portals in any case.
Well, with the nukes.
But if the Kaiju player does happen to get a base in before that happens, they can still use the base to deploy units from.
Yeah, but they're pretty much doomed.
It's pretty well doomed, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's got a lot of units going in there right now. And like I said, you could spread them out. You must have at least a 1-for-1 for what's there in that zone before you spread out to any of the other zones. So you can choose to spread out and at this point and do what you need to there.
Hello.
Okay.
So you have to leave one behind.
Well, you have to 1-for-1 because she's got a base, she's got an army unit, and that's it, Kelly.
She's got 2 troops.
A navy, 2 air force, and a navy. So you're basically you don't have to have equivalent types, but obviously if you want to take out the navy, you need at least air or another navy unit to do it, right? So basically you'll need for the land zone itself.
Well, air and navy can.
For the land zone itself, you'll need two units occupied there, and the others can go. But the air force is going to keep you occupied too with that. So you can't just leave them without.
It's also important to note that
just to make it simple, it's 1-for-1.
Units, the green ones and the reds of your units can't travel in the water by themselves. Only the air and the navy can, and certain mechs can, like your Sea Leviathan can transfer through there.
Sure, whichever one you throw me. They're all good. Ready?
Okay, so he deploys.
Perfect shot.
To San Diego with the Brawler and some units. And that's it. So from Lima to San Diego, and that's it. Just the 2 zones for this turn. Okay.
Which, are these in this zone still, or in San Diego?
It's a good thing you didn't open it before you threw it.
These purple guys. Okay.
Alright, so now we go into, once the movement phase is done for all the units, and on the first turn only, the humans in that zone being attacked, or those zones being attacked, are the ones who can counter move. Basically counterattack anyways. No one else can counter move to that zone from another zone. It's considered a surprise attack. So now we go to the battle phase if there's no more movement, and they move the Kaiju player starts with whatever zone they want, and they deploy their forces on the battle board.
So the Kaiju player normally picks the order of the battles. That's how it goes?
Yeah, because they always have the initiative.
They're the aggressor.
So if you have your, like I said, if you have your Warlord in play with the Titans and units, any units with them or Titans in that, will all get a bonus of +2 to their command for the duration of the battle phase. Most command cards will only give you a command or attack for only that 1 battle round. He does it for the whole battle while he's still alive.
So you're placing them based on their strength?
On their command, the star. That's the command, yeah. So. Now, the Brawler has a 9, but because if you have the Warlord with him, which he doesn't, nope, he's not. So, yeah, it's just a Brawler then, yeah.
But he goes on the other side.
But if you do have a command card that increases your Brawler's command, if you want to do that for that zone, then you can use that card. Usually you don't use the command card until that unit's ready to attack or defend.
Yeah.
Especially defense, you probably do want to declare it right away. But for attacks, you don't have to really do it until
one of his guys there is flipped over to the wounded side.
So you do have Titan Command. You can give +2 to your brawler right away to make sure he gets. But you really only need to use that if he's got other units above you already. Like that base, if you're in Lima, the base has a 10 and your brawler had a 9, then you can use that Titan Command to give him 11. Here it's not necessary because you're already high above everyone else.
Right.
Okay, so those are the units. Okay, so starting with the one with the higher command, which is the brawler, you declare which unit you're going to attack with your abilities, and roll a die accordingly. Nope, those are all your land units. Net, she has to look at her own army. You use the abilities off your card there. You got several ones. You got the massive axe, tail strike, but they tell you what they're only allowed to attack.
So what is that?
That's an army unit.
Army or land.
Yeah, it's an army unit. And these guys are called Reapers here.
Yeah, I'll stomp on it.
Okay. Yep.
And you can use all of the abilities on the card as long as they would hit the unit.
Okay. So I get. So stomp is 1 against military unit.
Yeah, you pick one military unit. In this case, you're going to pick the army, and you roll a d10 and add that strength. And you must equal or exceed the defense, which is 7 for the army.
Yeah.
So the strength is 1?
Yeah.
Strength is only 1?
Yeah. Stomp is strength 1 against military units. So you need 6 or better. A 9 does it.
So it affects military only.
And it's destroyed.
Yeah. That would be useless against mecha.
Yeah. That's why it's...
Okay, so you've captured it. So if you wanted to continue to try and destroy the thing, then you can keep attacking it with all the other troops that are on there. Otherwise, you just occupy it.
You can make one attack on Santiago if you want, but if you've already taken it, there's no enemy there to make it's not worth it. So you want to keep that then.
It all depends on whether he wants to just destroy and move on,
or
whether he wants to make a base there. Well, you can make a base there if you occupy.
If you
get points for it.
If you destroy the city zone, you don't get the victory point for it, or resources for it, as it were. It's like considered a non-city zone.
Well, it's enslaved.
It's not as advantageous to keep it.
Okay, so put everybody back on Santiago.
Yeah, and then you start with the next one.
Start the next battle.
So all your guys here are at a +2 because of your warlord to their command.
Now the warlord himself doesn't give himself his own bonus. He's still at 10 there.
Those guys
that only affects everyone else
because they have a commander there. So that plus the +2 is like a +3.
Yeah.
I think everything's going really high.
So yeah, other than the warlord giving you command for the whole battle, the command units themselves also give you that advantage for the whole battle. Like I said, the command card's the only exception to the rule when you get extra command or strength. It only lasts for that one battle round in the battle phase.
Weren't those guys in Santiago?
Oh yeah, you can't use the guys from Santiago. You only got to use the guys from Lima there.
Lima.
Yeah.
So these guys aren't there?
Yeah, those guys are back. They're still in Santiago.
Battle.
Missed that.
Yeah, but these guys are in Lima.
Yeah, you can throw the Air Force in there.
They're not on the...
And
they have +2, so 9 + 2 is 11.
And so so the warlord should be at 10 actually, because he doesn't give himself his own command benefits, so that's just for everyone else. So he should be at 10 there. Okay, so once you're all set up again, then you can...
your Air Force is still 11.
So that one's there.
I think, because your
the Air Force is 9, so they should be 11.
Is 9, so it goes up to 11. So those guys do start ahead.
Okay, so now since you're the higher one again, you get to declare which one of your units is going to attack first there on the 11 there, and who they're going to attack.
There are penalties for depending on what you're attacking. Navy and land units can't attack each other. Air units have it's
a -2 penalty to fight sea, and vice versa.
Yeah. And anything can attack a base, and a base can attack anything. That might be the most advantageous thing to attack right now. Okay.
Especially when you can do 4 attacks on it with the Sea Leviathan.
With rerolls.
Yeah, with rerolls.
That's pretty important.
So I have to pick a battle, or
Yep. You pick which character is going to attack or unit, and you choose who you're going to attack with what strength or ability.
Time, or you can roll them all together if you want.
Yep.
So I have to find one at a time. Is easier to pick targets.
4 attacks per battle.
Well, yeah, per battle. That's per battle round. Like each time, this is one battle round. After everyone's gone through one attack, you do another battle round if there's any surviving units still from both sides, and you can use those attacks again until such time as you're destroyed or wounded and reduced. 1 dice per attack. So if it says multi-limit attack, he gets 4 attacks, you get 4 dice. It's 1 dice per attack. So.
Okay, let's walk that base.
So I have a defense of 10.
So your strength's 5. So
the 9 plus 5 is 14. So that does 4 points.
4 points, yeah.
4 points. And 11 does 1 point, so it took 5 points.
You do have rerolls.
And you do get rerolls, one reroll.
3 and the 4 if you want.
Yeah.
Actually, doesn't he get 2 because he has...
No, he only gets... you can only do rerolls from one command unit at a time. You can't combine.
So only one reroll ever.
Yeah. Now, because you rerolled and you rolled a 1, that does automatic damage to Lima for 1 point every time. And the 10, no, the opposite. The 10 does an extra point of damage regardless of what you could have rolled. So your 10 plus 5 is 15, plus the extra 1 is 16. So you did 6 more points to it.
So 5 damage and 6 damage is 11 damage, wipes out the base.
Yeah.
The base is destroyed.
Base only takes 10, with the defense 10, and now it's destroyed. That's another 10 victory points for you there already. Okay. And now you got your air units. You can declare an attack, whatever else. Now if you attack another air unit, no problem. If you're attacking a sea unit, it's -2. If you're attacking a ground unit, no problem.
I'll engage those other air units.
Okay.
Right.
So it's basically 2 on 2. Yeah. So against air units, it's just a 0 modifier. So you're just rolling a D10, and you just have to roll their defense or higher.
Which is?
Your defense is 7 or 8, Kelly, for air?
Air units, defense is 7.
2 9s.
Easy.
We're gone.
Okay.
Okay. And now you
I
got...
would speak Spanish.
So now you got your warlord and then your sea units.
Well, the good news is Australia's fine.
Yeah.
For now.
So I'll attack the land unit.
Okay. With your other Titan there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Energy gun.
Okay. He has a defense of 7.
Yeah, you only have a strength of 2, so you can still hit him on a 5 or better. And you do get rerolls with him for that weapon there. You get some rerolls. There you go.
Alright. And your navy against my navy.
B3.
Yep.
Strength plus 2.
Navy has a defense of 8.
Yeah, your strength only applies for the most part against the mechas and titans. The only ones that have difference is the Reapers get a +1 against other military units, or a -1 if you're drones or a garrison. Other than that, they're all pretty well 0 modifier, just roll in trying to equal or exceed their defense.
What's your defense?
7. 8.
No, 8s, they're 8s.
8. Wow.
So you got 1 hit, so that'll destroy them anyways.
And I got a reroll?
No,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
you don't have to if you destroyed him. No, that will do it.
Definitely killed him.
Yeah, you got the reroll because you have a command unit with them
So
that allows it.
you land all your guys on the,
all
on the
you
shore
guys
and
go
you're
back to
fine.
Lima.
So now you control Lima.
Want to dominate the Latin-speaking world.
And you can now, let's see now, this is...
And that blue command goes on top of the blue guys.
Yeah. So this is, there's no more battles, so this would be now the redeployment phase. So this is where both sides, even on the first round, can redeploy their units to a friendly zone. Now, because you only have Santiago and Lima, you can only deploy among those 2 zones with your units, redistribute them. For the UN forces, they can also redeploy their forces accordingly on this round to prepare for the next one.
How much does it take to occupy?
You just have to have a minimum of 1 army or 1 Reaper unit, to control a land zone.
So right now, this one is controlled, but this one, because you have no green or red units, is not controlled. So it'd be good to move one of them.
At least one of them over there, yeah. And because it's southernmost portion of the thing, you could probably move a bunch of them up top because unless the human forces can gather up enough to get down to Santiago, you're pretty well safe down there. But you want to leave some defense there in case something bad goes, for defending your thing here, the city you occupied.
You need to catch a lucky break, like
it's always
Santiago gets picked.
It's always good to have at least one Army, Air Force, and Navy unit protecting a base when you're doing this game, so that they can protect from all levels of command, or multi-dimensional battlefield, as it were.
Make sure that your command token is on top, so you know where it is on your blue.
Okay, and once the battle phase is done, you can take the portal away, because if they can't nuke it or anything during the battle phase, then it's safe. It disappears. Okay, and so Kelly, what are you going to do for redeployment?
I moved from Hawaii to Los Angeles for these guys.
No, for the Air Force?
Moved, a guy down.
Okay, you moved the C unit over to San Francisco area. Okay, cool. Now it's the control zone. Control phase, correction. So in the control phase, we tally up the points, victory points they got on both sides. So whoever wants to start there. Obviously, there's no kaiju casualties, so we're counting up all the human ones. We might as well start with that. So how many points did he get?
He got. They're the same.
Yeah, armies are 1.
The navies are 2, right?
Army and Air Force are 1. Navies are 2. The Reapers and Pibs are 3. Drones and evacs are 1.
5, 6.
Garrisons are 1.
16 from
And
the
bases are
destroyed
10.
units.
That must be red.
Yeah. And the logo tells it too. Your actual Cesaran logo there.
And then he has 2 bases. Or not bases, but 2 zones he
Yep.
controls. So that's another 2, right?
Yeah, you got 2 more points for occupying 2 zones this round. Yep.
Yeah.
And
that's it. That's it.
Yep.
And now
Then I get 1, 2.
You're going to
3,
see her
4,
shoot right past you, but don't be worried about that.
5.
That's just because she owns most of the board.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2 for every land unit. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
And then 1 for every base. Now keep in mind, if
17, 18.
if the base is the only one occupying the zone, you don't have any army there or PIB, then the base has to count for that point, so you don't get it.
19.
So you got 19?
Yeah.
So look at it, only 1 point above. Okay. See, it's pretty balanced so far then. All right. So that is now for prepare for the next round. Damage tokens go back in reserve pile. Kelly's already done that. And now we just get ready for round 2.